Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, January 3rd, 2022. I had to check my watch just to make sure it's January 3rd, but it is 2022. That's something that I've gotten wrong a couple of times already, just having to write out the date. It always takes me a while to get used to that, especially because I don't really write down the date all that often. But we're here now, and Happy New Year to everybody. It's the first time we've been back since, I think, over a week now. We were supposed to have a live stream last Monday. I had to cancel that, but we're here now after my break sometime at home with my family. Well, at home, not at home, but at my sister's home with my family. My parents were also there, and we had a very nice, very quiet New Year's. And now I'm back. Did a lot of driving. We drove to Connecticut. Actually, I was really glad that we drove with everything that happened travel-wise in the world, but we made it back. The girls were champs. They were great at being in the car. It was their longest car rides ever. And I just picked up the dog this morning from the border, and everything's great. So we're here. Happy 2022, everybody. Everyone that's going for a run right now and listening to this on the audio-only version in the podcast, welcome. Hope you're having a great run out there today. For me, it was pitch black and 12 degrees. When I went for my run before I got the girls ready for school today, which I generally don't like to do because it's so dark this time of year. I was done with my run before first light, which was pretty not great. I just don't like running in the dark, but I got the miles in, actually had a really good time. And hopefully you guys in podcast land are having a good time as well. And then everyone else watching this on YouTube later, but not live, welcome to you guys as well. Hopefully you're sitting back and relaxing at the end of your day, or maybe the beginning of your day with a nice recovery beverage. I've got some afternoon coffee, but I've also today got some stuff because it is a Monday. So we're gonna do Monday mukbang. I've been saving this for a little while. This was a grab bag that I got at the Goo booth at the running event. So I've had this for like a month now, but it's a bunch of stuff that they threw in a bag. This bag is made out of not leftover, but like unusable ends of like the labels. It's from a banana acai flavor. I don't think I'll ever be trying that goo, but yeah. So they made a bag of it, and there's a bunch of goodies that they threw in here for me. So we'll be tasting those today. But let's see who we got here in the chat. We got Frank. Frank says his New Year's resolution is to get a doctor and get a physical. Come on, Frank. You got to be getting one every year. Says, I moved in 2014 and haven't bothered to get a regular doctor or see any doctor since, which is silly since I have health insurance. Well, I mean, at least use it. You're paying for it. So at least use it. Get checked up on that stuff because, there might be stuff that seems like it's normal day to day, but, you might be able to pick something up. Or if you're in perfect health, which I hope you are, it's nice to get that validation from the doctor. And Frank does say at least he's been healthy. Well, you've been rolling your dice for 8 years now. Time to get to the doctor. All right. Adam Steve says, Happy New Year, Co. Did you feel like you made it, air quotes, when you were name dropped by Mrs. Space Cadet on the Citius Mag podcast? That was pretty cool. I was listening to that podcast, the Citius Mag podcast, while I was driving home from a run, not home, back to my sister's home from one of the trail runs. And I had it on and I was just listening to it and I was like, whoa. So Mrs. Space Cadet, who is a TikTok star, is being interviewed by Dana Giordano and Chris Chavez on the Citius Mag podcast. And she was like, hey, do you guys know that guy Kofuzi? So that was pretty cool. I mean, I sometimes get mentioned in other podcasts and stuff, and it's always really, really flattering. I'm a narcissist, so like it's great when people mention me. Not that people have to go out of the way to do that. But like, I usually don't share that. But then when I got back to the house, I was telling my sister, I'm like, well, let me tell you what I just heard today. And I told my wife too. And I was like, look, I just got name dropped. It was pretty cool. So it was definitely very flattering. It was a good way to kind of start off the new year for me. Felt very good. Pete G 1980 says, hi, Kofuzi. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good one. I did. Hope you all had a good, safe New Year's as well. I made it to midnight this year, which was awesome. And it disappointed the kids because the kids had asked me if we can make a bet. They bet that I couldn't make it to midnight. And they said, well, if you fall asleep before midnight, can we shoot you with the Nerf guns? Because my nephew has like every single Nerf gun ever made. And so, and we've had like many days of epic Nerf battles while I was over there. But they were like, we get to shoot you if you fall asleep. And I was like, fine. And like, they would keep checking in on me like every 15 minutes. Like, are you asleep? I'm like, nope, wide awake. So I did make it to the new year. Thomas Villa says, yo, what's going on, everyone? Truly hope everyone had a blessed holiday. Awesome, Thomas. And Pete G says, I'm looking to get some new shoes. Currently running the Noblast 2. Should I just buy them again? Shall I try something else? I think if you liked the Noblast 2 and loved them, get them again. If you're looking to try some new stuff, I would say probably Mach 4 or maybe even Endorphin Speed 2. Those would be some ones I would look at that are kind of like in that similar kind of, setup, a lot very similar feels and use cases, but are just also really good shoes and could be exciting to try. So those are some other ones I would look at. Leona says, happy 22 co-fam. Great show, everyone's Mike. Hope you had a fantastic holiday with the family. It was a good time. It was a short trip, but and we were supposed to go like skiing or maybe catch a show in New York, but all of that couldn't happen. But I guess we could have gone skiing, but it was super hot. It was like 45 degrees, 50 degrees while we were there. So it would have been some messy skiing conditions. So we didn't do that. But it was a good time to spend with my family. So I definitely feel really good about it. JC says, Happy New Year to a better year in 2022. Well, I would drink to that, JC. Cheers. Let's see if I actually have any afternoon coffee left. Just a little bit. Stevie76 says, yo, what's going on? Joe Master says, Happy New Year. Lucas SH says, Happy New Year. Many running friends. I missed a live stream. So glad to have it back, especially the podcast version for my runs. Yeah, you know what? I felt bad about it too, because the week, like in between Christmas and New Year's, I just felt like everyone either was playing a replay and, everyone, all the podcasters were playing a replay, or I just felt like there wasn't like the usual podcasts weren't out. And I was just like, this is a week where I run a lot. We need to have more podcasts. So I was like starved for more podcast content. But then again, though, I was out on the trails, and so I didn't run with music because I was like, I'm going to get lost. This terrain is treacherous, and I need to pay more attention. So I guess it was fine. Although I think the bigger thing was, my family would fall asleep in the car, and I'd be like, oh, I could listen to a podcast while they're all sleeping, and I'm driving, and I didn't have a lot to listen to. So I was like, I could have used some fresh podcast content. So I feel bad that we didn't have any regular live streams to listen to, but we're back now. And I miss you guys too. X-Truth says, Happy New Year. Oh, missed a live stream. Yeah, Steve says, Happy New Year, Mike. Here's so great 2022. Tony Young says, morning from New Zealand. Awesome. And it says, hi, Kofuzi and everyone. Happy New Year. All right. I'm going to scroll down, guys. Sorry about that. Let's see. Leona says, wait, that I was name dropped during Rambling Runners episode with Alexis McCoy? Was I? I'm not sure if I listened to that one. I'll have to go back and look. No, I'll have to go look. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Danny Fisher says, did you end up opening the Tracksmith mag? Any good? Any other literature recommendations? Happy New Year. I didn't open that Tracksmith magazine. But I did get another Tracksmith something mailed to me. It was like a little kind of brochure, mini cat. It wasn't a catalog. It was just photos and some writing about running and stuff. I think it was kind of setting up for the No Days Off kind of release and all the apparel that they put out in the beginning of the year. It came and it was really good, but it came right at the time where like Omicron was starting to rear its ugly head, I guess. And so it felt a little bit poorly timed, unfortunately timed, because everything was like running is back. And I was like, it kind of is. It might be going away. I don't know, but that was good. I'll have to, I had brought it with me somewhere and I was like, I'm gonna have some time. I'm gonna read this magazine. And then I never ended up opening it. I'll have to go look at that. Light Stash says, dude, just discovered your channel. Stoked to see a live stream as well. Well, welcome, Light Stash. Thanks for watching and glad to have you here. Very cool. All right, let's get to some of this stuff from Goo. We got a bunch of stuff in here. And we'll try to eat some of it. First, one of the things that they put in here was this Roctane energy drink mix. I'm not sure if I've ever had any. Have I not had Roctane energy drink mix? Not sure, but I won't be trying that today because I'm just going to be eating stuff today. So we'll go to the food. Here's something else I won't be trying. Not because I won't try it, but like just because I'll probably have to wait till maybe when it's a little bit warmer. But electrolyte capsules. It's got salt, chloride, magnesium, but no caffeine. But like little pills. I don't know, like salt tabs and all that stuff. Like, I love the idea of it, but there's something about like taking a pill while running that doesn't seem great. All right, let's get to some stuff that I can actually eat. Let's start with this one. This was good. Goo Chews. Now, I'm normally a Cliff Blocks guy. I don't think I've ever had Goo Chews. So, I mean, these are like gummies. They are a serving size is 4 pieces, and there's 2 servings in here. 2 servings in a sleeve. That's weird. So you're getting 40. I mean, if you eat all 8, you're getting 40 carbs. Let's see. Not a lot of anything else. Not a lot of salt. 40 milligrams of salt. Nothing else. Just sugar in this is what you're getting. Oh, you know what? I wasn't expecting this. They are hexagonal. Let's see if I could get the camera to focus on it. Yeah, look at that. I was expecting little blocks or gumdrops, but these are little, I guess they're kind of gumdroppy hexagons. This is tasty. Very strawberry. That's good. That's like candy. I could eat these all day. Very good. I used to, this has 20 milligrams of caffeine per serving. That's cool. And this says 400 milligrams of amino acids per serving. That's interesting. But I used to only train with blocks. I used the Cliff Blocks, but these strawberry goos are good. Daniel South says, been nice to see you get on trails recently. Hope you've been enjoying them. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, I did a lot of trail running both in Iowa and in Connecticut. So on both sides of the family, there's good running nearby. So I'm very lucky. And I did enjoy them very much. When people talk about East Coast trails, it always sounds like they are kind of like exaggerating. And it's not that I've never been on East Coast trails before, but it's just been a while, I think. And yeah, I don't think people are exaggerating. It was just very tiring. There are certain points where I'm just like, this is so much uphill and downhill, and there's so many rocks. You can't really run here. This is not running. So there were some times where I didn't enjoy it quite as much when it got very like slow. But overall, I just really enjoyed like kind of getting lost in the woods, running around, running along the lake. That was a lot of fun. All right, let's try this watermelon one. All right. Same like this color is very similar. It's a little bit lighter. Smells like watermelon. It's an interesting flavor. It's like watermelon, but not super sweet like a lot of watermelon candy is. Maybe it's because the wrapper is green. I'm expecting like a little bit of bitterness in them, but the strawberry is better. But if you're the kind of person that can't have like super, super sweet your entire run, that might be the one to go for. I think I could probably have more of these for an extended period of time. Luis has a question, says, what's going on, Luis? Says, does the Insta360 have stabilization issues, or maybe I just recorded it in an angle that just looks like everything is bouncing? I mean, I feel like the stabilization on the Insta360 is really good. The only time I've ever seen an issue with it is one time I went on a very long, very hot run, and like I think the camera overheated, and my clip had no stabilization on it, and it was extremely bouncy. So like that's something that could be going on with yours. But I don't know. Have you tried slowing it down? Because a lot of my footage that looks very smooth is slowed down in slow motion. So I think slow motion also like really helps a lot. So maybe try shooting a couple test shots in 3K 100 frames per second, and then slow that down and see if that kind of like gets you more where you need to be. But also it could just be maybe just do some practicing with it for the frame rate and resolution that you want to use. I think that you'll probably figure out like experiment a little bit on how you're carrying your elbow, your arm, and figure out like kind of like what's the best way to hold it that gives you the best results. Brendan Cam, what's going on? Brendan says, "Are you wearing the Rabbit Rerun Trail long sleeve?" I am. Where's the? Yeah, it's got the logo right over here, and the trail logo right there. He says, "If so, we're totally twinsies. Awesome, love it." JC says, "My Monday mukbang includes a box of hot tamales. That's nice." Justin Winton says he's watching from Rio. Awesome. I'm trying to be healthy for the Carlsbad Marathon on 16/1. Happy New Year's, everyone. Oh, very cool. I didn't know that Carlsbad had a marathon. Oh, I love that part of the country. CV76 says, "Can I stick all the goo blocks in my mouth?" Yeah, but then I don't think I'd be able to talk very much longer on the live stream. All right, let's try the next thing. There's a lot of chews in this. So like there's chews in the sleeve and then there's chews in these bags too. So I don't know what the difference is or if they're different. It seems to be the same 8 pieces, 2 servings or whatever. 40, same amount of, this seems to have less carbs. So yeah, this seems to have half the carbs as the ones in the sleeves do, unless I'm doing the math wrong, but I don't think so. Because this says 22 grams of carbs for the serving, and the serving is 8 pieces in this bag, and in this there's 8 pieces that are 2 servings. And it's 20 grams per serving of carbs, so I think 40 grams per sleeve, and then 22 for this one in the little baggie. And well, these are smaller too, so they're still hexagons. Let's do that. I have to block my face to make it not focus on me. There, still hexagons, but they're not as tall. They're a little bit shorter. Blueberry pomegranate. This is not my favorite flavor, but I don't like blueberry things. Pretty good though. I wish there was more pomegranate flavor and not so much blueberry flavor. It was pretty good. Not as sweet and not as sticky. I feel like this would be hard to eat while running though, like opening up the bag. Sleeves I feel like are a little bit easier because you just kind of like slide them up like Mentos. The sleeve. I guess like if you like just to eat the chews as candy, go with the smaller one. These in the sleeve I think are a little bit more potent per gummy that you're eating. Mo says, "Happy New Year, Kofuzi. Just want to thank you for all the epic videos. Chicago motivation and race are so great. And go back to them often. Thanks. Awesome. And thanks for the hug, the virtual hug. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good new year as well." Remy B's here, says, "What to do? Back to work, back to reality, not adjusting well, just dropping in to say, hey." Well, hope you're doing all right. Remy, I feel like the beard, the facial hair is looking really good, man. So I definitely approve. I don't know if you get to keep that during, back to work time, but it's been looking real good. Hopefully you're going to be doing okay. Hopefully the adjustments will smooth themselves out. All right. Remy does say New England trails are the best. I'm biased. Yeah, I mean they were good. I had a lot of fun out there, and I don't know if like the readings were wrong or what, but the second run that I went on, I ended up being like 11.4 miles or so, and it said I got like over 2,000 feet of elevation gain, and it didn't feel like 2,000 feet because at no point do you get very high, but it's always just constantly up and down. And I was tired afterwards, but I'm like, whoa, that felt like a really good day. I felt very accomplished afterwards. And by the way, guys, I didn't fall a single time. I'm sure I jinxed it now for the next time I go out there. I got very lost one of the days, but the other days and the other days I did pretty good, and no day did I fall. And I was just like, oh, if I fall here, like if you fall going down a hill, you're not just like, when I fell running down a mountain, or I guess a hill in Phoenix, and like, you're running down, my foot hit a rock, and I just kind of like, you hit like a sack of rice hitting the ground, and you just slide, right? And that hurt. I broke a selfie stick, and I thought I broke my phone because I like landed on it. I had it in my pack, and I was like, if I fall here, I don't know, I'm not gonna slide. I'm just gonna hit other rocks and like bounce down, like, I don't know. So I was very worried about falling, but I didn't. So I felt like it was really good. It was just a successful trip. Brian Nee has a great question. Says, anyone know what happened with Nick Willis' sub 4-minute mile attempt? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I did see, I kind of totally forgot about it. And then I saw a tweet from Kyle Merber today, or maybe I think it was Kyle Merber. And he was like, hey, Nick, it's okay if you didn't get it, but at least let us know how it went. And I think he was joking, but he was also like, hey, how come we haven't heard about this? So I don't know. My understanding is that he was going to go for it, but maybe they had to scrap it. I don't know if he was still going to be. I doubt that he was going to still come to New York to run it, because I feel like all the people that were going to be in the sub 4 heat with him are his training partners in Michigan. So I didn't know if that, if everyone was going to stay in Michigan, if they were going to be able to get somewhere to be in Michigan. Not that I think anywhere in Michigan would stop them from doing anything. So I don't know. I would love to hear more too. Maybe I could send out. I'm sure we'll hear something they're really good at setting out information as far as Tracksmith goes. So, they'll let us know when they're ready for us to let us know. All right. Let's see. It looks like I'm really far behind you guys. Sorry about that. We got a super chat from Eric Paramon. Thanks, Eric. It says, out of all the 2020 shoes coming, road and trail, which two, one of each, are you most excited about? Happy New Year. Right now, I'm most excited for trail about the Tecton X. I should be getting a pair soon. Yeah, they said they were going to send it to me. But I was hoping that I was going to get it between Christmas and New Year, because I knew I had so much trail running coming up in Connecticut. But it didn't. I took the Peregrine 12 out with me instead, which ended up working out perfect. So I'm really excited about the Tecton X because it's got the parallel plates. I have a feeling it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be like, I don't even feel the plates, let alone feel 2 plates. It's going to be one or the other. I don't think it's going to be like, it's pretty good. I think it's going to be really great or really underwhelming. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about from the road is probably the Endorphin Pro 3. Like, I'm really hoping for, like, is this the time that I finally can run in the Endorphin Pro for a marathon? I'd love to be able to try that, but I just don't know. I think the New Balance offerings are also really exciting, but I don't know. I think I'm a little bit more excited about that Endorphin Pro. So right now, those are my 2 most exciting things. Of course, I'm excited about like another Metaspeed Sky, but I have a feeling I'm kind of hoping it's a very mild update, because the shoe is very like good as it is. I don't think they need to change very much. So like, I'm hoping it's a very mild update. It'll still be one of the best shoes of the year, I anticipate, as long as they don't mess it up. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. But like, as far as exciting, I'm excited about things that are like supposed to be a little bit more new, I guess. Trevor Holtzman says, hey, Ko, nice runs over the holidays. I was able to get some elevation too. Nice break from the flatness of Chicago. Isn't it nice? You know what's great about going somewhere else and getting elevation is that, like, when I come back home, I'm like, no, I don't have to run that anymore. So it's like nice. It's nice to be able to, I like to visit elevation and then come back to flatness. I suppose if it were the other way around, I wouldn't mind either. But I kind of like having relatively flat as my default. I don't know. All right. Let's see. We saw another one. James Voss says, best running / rain jacket. I brought it with me for Connecticut because I knew it was supposed to rain, but I thought it was supposed to be cold, so I thought I was going to get like freezing rain the entire time. So I did bring my Gore Infinium. I think it's the R3. I don't remember if it's the R3 or the R5. But it's a Gore-Tex Infinium jacket. The Infinium is the insulation. The Gore-Tex is the outer shell. And combined, it's a jacket that doesn't feel like it's going to be very warm or very waterproof, but it is a fantastic jacket. It's my favorite jacket. If I can only bring one, that's the one that I'm bringing. All right. Innes says he's going to record runs in metric this year. He has no idea what his pace is, which is turning out to be quite a good thing so far. He got a stride as well, so his mixing things up has been good. Oh, that's good. That sounds like a lot of fun. I keep thinking that maybe I'll try to go to kilometers, because then people say like with the splits, you get more frequent kind of feedback. But I'm like, I look at my watch all the time. I don't have to worry about having too much feedback or not enough feedback. But I feel like if I did kind of start running and using like, kilometers per minute, I feel like you'd figure it out pretty fast. Don't you think? I don't know. T. Davis says, "Yo, Happy New Year's, everyone! It's a snowy day in Baltimore. It's a snow day in Baltimore. Well, yeah, I heard that. I hear you guys in the like Atlantic and South are getting a lot of snow. Hopefully, you guys are being safe. Ooh, really strong orangey smell from this Choose orange. Sometimes with orange gummies, this one I don't like. I feel like there's a lot of orange, like zest in it. So it's got some of that like bitterness to it. I like, if it's gummy and it's orange, I want it to taste like candy orange. This is like, I think, trying to be a little bit fancier. I don't like it. It reminds me kind of like of a lot of like Asian candies, like Korean candies. Like growing up, I remember you'd see gum and you'd be like, ooh, gum. And you eat the gum and you start chewing and you're like, what flavor is this gum? And my mom would be like, lavender. And I'm like, why would they make gum lavender flavored? A lot of Asian and Korean gums taste like you ate a bowl of potpourri. This has something in it that doesn't taste like orange. That has like a kind of almost like a herbaceousness to it that I don't like. Yeah. That being said, I almost ate them all already, but maybe I'll grab a quick burst of the strawberry goo to kind of get more candy on the palate. All right. Random Lewis says, have you seen the Streak Lies? I saw that New Generation Track and Field had a post about them. They went to like a high school or something. I thought that was pretty cool. But other than those kinds of photos, I haven't seen anything about the Streak Fly. Looks pretty cool though. Eric says, what's going on? Eric says, Happy New Year all. Hope the year brings you all downhills with the wind always at your back. Wouldn't that be nice? That sounds amazing. I hope for that too, Eric. Thank you. Alias, oh, I've seen this in before. Alias says, you should come to do Rotterdam Marathon. SJD will also be there. Maybe try sub 3. I mean, it looks like a fast course. Isn't that where Sarah from the running channel, didn't she just do the Rotterdam Marathon? Why did she just do her marathon? Yeah, it does look like a fun course. Yeah, I could see why I could see why people like it, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get out there this year. That's the only thing. Travel right now is difficult, I think. So I think that like I had a lot of plans of travel that I was making, but I think I'm going to pause making additional plans at the moment. Kind of see what happens over the next. I think like in the next couple of weeks, I'll get a good sense of like what kind of additional plans can I make, or what do I have to like kind of pull back on. So we'll see, hopefully. But I don't know about Rotterdam this year. That would be a fun one. Dragosaurus X says, any New Year's resolutions? I would say I have one main resolution. I try not to do too many. I mean, I have running goals and stuff, but like the main resolution I have is not running related, but it's kind of like channel related, is to do something when I'm thinking about it. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that. Well, I'll wait till another time. I still got time. I could do that later. I do a lot of procrastinating. And I know that a lot of people right now are having a hard time with multitasking and stuff because they start doing something and then they think of something else and then they switch tasks to another thing. I think I have the opposite problem, or maybe I just procrastinate too much on things I don't like to do. But like sometimes like, like answering a text or answering an email right away. Like I've already read the email. I've spent the time reading the email. I've already spent the mental energy kind of like putting together my response. But I'm like, I don't feel like answering that right now. So then I'll wait, and then it'll be like, oh man, it's been a week. I should have answered that email like 5 days ago. So my New Year's resolution is to do something while I'm thinking of it. Kind of another way to think about it is like touch things once. There's a lot of things that I'm like picking up and like touching multiple times, not figuratively, not literally. But like, kind of like the email example. It's like I'm already looking at the email. I'm already reading it. You know, my answers and my responses aren't going to change in a couple of days. So just bang out the email now. So that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to do because I'm getting behind on stuff. So I just got to be more efficient that way. So that's it. Thomas says about like orange and lemon can remind me of house cleaners. Yeah, but usually I still do really love orange flavored things. But like when orange tries to get fancy, like if you go to a candy shop and they got like really fancy, like those orange like wedges that are like candied with like the crystal sugar on the outside, you're like, I don't know, that's either going to be super sweet or it's going to taste like someone put rosemary on it or something. I know they don't put rosemary in it, but sometimes it's just like, did someone put some sticks on this? Seatown fan says they got a lot of snow in Seattle too. I saw that. I heard about that. How's the weather in Chicago? It was, I think it snowed the day we left, but before then it had been relatively mild. And there had been like almost record setting not snow. And then, there was snow on the ground when we came back and it was like 50 degrees. We didn't wear jackets the entire time we were in Connecticut. But when we came back, it was like 12 or 15 degrees. So it's cold here now. This morning it was 12 degrees for my run. It was chilly. It was chilly. Will Gravel says, just came back from parents in Lake Tahoe. The amount of snow they had up there was crazy. Good skiing though. That sounds amazing. I'd love to go skiing up there. That's pretty cool. Daniel Smeagol says, hey, was watching some old vlogs today. Any plans to come to Boston this year for the Falmouth race again? I think so. I'm talking with ASICS. I think that we might run it back and do it again. So we'll see if that becomes like, well, it'll be the second year. I don't know if it'll become an every single year thing, but we're talking about it. So hopefully is kind of like my answer for now, but it's a little bit far out in the year for me to kind of make some of those plans yet. But I think that we're planning on doing that again. So like, yeah, I think another Boston trip, and maybe if I go out to Boston again this year, maybe we should be able to do a group run. So we'll do that like then maybe the day before Falmouth or something. Let's see. Oh, James Voss says, you mentioned something about a big designer doing merch for Eugene 2022. I can't find anything on that. Greg Itahara is going to be working with them on some of their designs. So for 2022, that's my understanding. So if I'm incorrect on that, you guys will have to let me know. But that's my understanding. So Greg Itahara of Itahara Custom Designs. He's local. He lives up not too far from me. Leona says, I heard Tokyo will make a final announcements of go, no go early February, a month before the race. That makes sense. I hadn't heard that, Leona, but now that you mention it, that makes sense because I think they do everything like they make decisions on big things like 30 days out. So like for Tokyo last year, it was like, we'll make a decision 30 days out. If the area is in a state of emergency 30 days out, then we will be canceling it or postponing it. So yeah, then I guess that means that'll be probably like February 3rd or 2nd, maybe first week of February then, I guess. So that's not a lot of time for things to kind of calm down, but we'll see. I talked to my sister about it because she had gone to Tokyo for the Olympics. I was like, what was it like going to Tokyo during like COVID times? And she was like, my experience is probably gonna be different from yours because she went with NBC and they have different kind of infrastructure and things that they get set up. But they're pretty serious about their quarantines and stuff over there, which I am glad for and is what I would imagine. But she didn't seem to think that it was not going to happen, but she wasn't exactly like, oh yeah, you'll be able to go. So, I mean, not that she has any inside information, but as someone who's gone recently to Japan, for a sporting event. I felt like she might have some insight. But she was like, I don't know. She didn't say much, which also could just be her nice way of saying like there's no chance. So I don't know. We'll see. And Eric says he's waiting until March to book May to June tickets for France. He's going to wait. It's too unpredictable. That's what I think too. Right now, I think it's a little bit unpredictable. Right now, our family is scheduled to go to Florida at the end of January. So, I mean, I'm not super keen on spending my tourism dollars in Florida right now, but that's where grandma and grandpa are renting a house. So we're going to go visit them in Florida. I don't know if they're there yet already. They're going soon if they're not already there. So last night I booked a rental car and I was like, do I want to book this rental car? Maybe I shouldn't book this rental car. I wasn't sure. I was on the fence. I'm like, I'm just going to book it. I'm not sure, but I'll book it. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling, Eric. Mark wants to know, is there a Takumi Sen 8 review on the horizon? I'm not sure about it anymore. Not right now. Because I was going to get one for the Tracksmith Midnight Mile. But once that event's like canceled, I was like, well, right now everything outside is like snowy and slushy and icy. Like it's not really great Takumi Sen running weather. So I'm not sure like when I'll be like right now I'm in like winter running shoe mode. Give me the Gore-Tex, give me the trail shoes, give me the carbon plated shoes with like extra thick tread and rubber. Like I'm looking at like the Craft CTM Ultra Carbon again. I'm like, oh, I still have that shoe. So it's a different mindset for me than normal. But I am still thinking that maybe I'd like to try and run the Masters Championships indoor track meet. And I think they have a mile race. That might be maybe then I'll do that one. That race is in March, I think. So maybe. AJ says, Affluent Journey says, did they change the foam on the Peregrine 12? I have the 11 and it was clunky and slow. I don't know because I've never run in any. I'm trying to think about it. I don't think I've ever run in a Saucony trail shoe before. And I've been looking at the Peregrine for a while. I know they have the Peregrine. They have like the Peregrine Ice. They've had so many different like different sub brands of the. I used to say variant, but that's a word that I probably can't use anymore. But these have all these different like versions of the Peregrine, and I was like, I don't know if the Peregrine's a shoe for me, but I don't know. I don't know about any old Peregrines, and I was just looking at like I remember watching a Ginger Runner video on the Peregrine 11. And I don't think he loved it, but I'm like, I don't know. This Peregrine 12 was pretty great. I'm a big fan of it. I like it a lot. It reminds me of the Terra Kiger in a lot of ways. So like I just thought it was awesome. It's got it's power run on the midsole, which I think the Peregrine 11 was also power run in the midsole, but it's got a power run plus insole, which is nice and springy and very thick for an insole. So I was like, this is nice. I really enjoyed it. And maybe it was because I was just coming off of running in the Adidas Terrex Agravic, which was a comfortable shoe, but like very stiff for me. And like this shoe just felt like a trail Kinvara. I really enjoyed it. So I did not think it was clunky or slow. I thought it was great. Steven Martinez says, what up, Chicago? What's going on, Steven? Good to see you. Oh, Stevie76 says, Kofuzi's New Year's resolution, have a pen readily available. You're right. I don't have a pen on me right now. Oh, there's a pen over here. By the way, before I forget, so Goo is like somewhat related to it, only because I just happened to pick it up while I was looking for a pen. So Goo does this thing. I don't know like how widespread the utility is of this, but they can make little bags out of unused, like at the end of the roll of the Goo wrappers. Like they can't use them, so they were finding ways to like repurpose it. But Goo could take all your used Goo packets and they can be recycled into synthetic wood decking material. Like they had this like setup at their booth where they can recycle these into stuff that you can make for like building materials. It was really, really cool. And I think that like the way that they are kind of like advocating for it is not so that like you and I send like mail our used goo packets to them. I think what they're trying to do is make it for another way for people to go more regularly to their running store. So like the running store would have like I can't imagine how stinky it would be, but like a big bin of these like your used up goo like packets. Then once that box is filled, you mail it to them and they could use that material. That will clean it, wash it, and then recycle it, chip it down into this other material that you could use for making decks, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. There is a lot of waste, you know? So it's like, it's nice to see that there's something that can be done. Maybe it's not the most efficient thing now, but maybe as technology evolves. Yeah, so I just thought that was cool. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit. Sorry, guys, if I missed you. Oh, here's Greg. What's going on, Greg? Happy New Year, Co and fam. Greg, we had a question for you. Are you still working with Eugene Marathon to do their merch? Someone had asked that earlier. Sorry about that, because that's what I thought. That was my understanding. So I just want to make sure that that's still the case. All right. Carlos Candelaria says, insane running here from North Carolina. All right. Well, I think you guys are getting some snow, aren't you? Hopefully you're doing okay. Eric Paramond says, they didn't change the foam on the Peregrine 12. All they did was put a Power Run Plus sock liner. Lame. But the Exodus Ultra looks more interesting now. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with any of Saucony's trail lineup. I'm aware of the Peregrine, and I know that they make other ones, but I actually don't know what they are. So it's all new to me. And I gotta say, I did really like it. Luis says he's been to 5 different Raw stores. No luck finding Nova Blast, but saw them on the ASICS webpage for $70. That's a good deal. $70? That's really good. Very good deal. And then Kurt Siege says, with all your trail running, and you changed your running Tiger Claw in May, I don't currently have any plans for it. But Ginger Runner did comment on my Instagram post. He's like, it looks like you're training for Tiger Claw. And I was like, I'd love to do that, but I just need to make sure the dates work out for me. I think last year it was like it was in October last year, right? So like it was the week before, if I'm remembering correctly, it was like the week before the Chicago Marathon. And I was like, I can't do that. Or maybe 2 weeks before, or maybe 3 weeks before even. I was like, I just can't do that. Right now, I'm currently signed up in May 1st for a trail marathon. I don't think it's real. I don't know. I have to look at it to see whether it's actually a trail marathon or if it's just a marathon on dirt roads in the area that me and my running buddy are doing. And then June, I think 18th is when Grandma's Marathon is, somewhere in that area. It's like mid to late June. I think it's mid. I think 18th is the right day. And so Grandma's might be a time where I might be trying to make another attempt at sub 3. So Tiger Claw would be almost exactly a month before that. And I'm not sure if that would fit or not. And I also just need to check the calendar to make sure I can do it. I think it could work. I think I can make it work. So like I gotta see. I just gotta we'll kind of, I got a plan for it. I'd like to try and do it. I mean, these days I'm of the opinion where I'd rather go do more fun events at the risk of a potential marathon PR than miss out on events to squeeze another couple seconds off of my marathon PR. So, I mean, maybe that's not the best way to think of it, but that's kind of where I am. I really want to do the event, but it's 25 miles and 7,500 feet of gain. That's a lot. I don't know that I would like it. That's the thing. I'm sure I would have fun, but it would be like, I got my butt kicked kind of fun. So it'd be very different. It'd be very humbling. I think it would make a good video, but like, It's a lot of climbing. I don't like climbing. But I don't know. I think I got to get over it because I do think ultimately I have a really good time. Athlone Journey says, I think I tore my meniscus in the 50K. Any experience on that? I don't have any experience on that. I think you got to get that taken care of, get that looked at. Because I don't think you can mess around with a meniscus. That would worry me. Hopefully it's not too bad. Bento Sakai says, earliest race I booked this year is a local 5K in April because the situation in Ontario isn't looking great right now. Yeah. So, I mean, look at that. Starting off the new year right. Lost the camera. Here we go. Let's switch over to this one. There we go. All right. I think that means it's almost time for me to go. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to get some races in before then. I don't know. When I dropped the kids off at school today, the news vans were outside because I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a showdown between the teachers union and the school and I guess and the union and management in the next couple of days with everything that's going on. So it's interesting. The media, I think, is excited for that possibility because I think it probably mean good ratings, but it's ominous right now. So it's hard to kind of figure out what's going to happen the next few weeks and months, but hopefully it all kind of passes over quickly and we can get back on the happier side of some of these curves. All right. Let me do one more. I got one more from scratch. These are, I'm put it up in the wrong camera. These are the crispy rice cakes. Have I eaten some of these on camera before? I can't remember, but I had some of these when I was at the running event. So this didn't come in the goo bag. This came from scratch. Because when I went to scratch, I was super hungry on the way out. And I was like, oh, what's this? And they're like, you should try these. And I was like, this is tasty. Thanks for the sample. And they were like, here, take a whole bunch more. So here's the eating instructions for this. To use, eat when hungry. Don't if you're not. Repeat if necessary. So I had one of these. And they're real good. It's like crunchy, crispy rice. So it's kind of like a Rice Krispie treat. But not as gummy and dense. So it's real good. Lukain says he loves the rice cakes from scratch. They don't sit in the stomach like stone. Yeah, they're very light. But at the same time, they're not like, they're not that satisfying either. The person working in the booth was like, yeah, I have one of those and I'm full for a long time. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's going to happen to me. But I do feel like, if this was something that either I had in the car after a run or in the pack during a very long run, like a long trail adventure kind of day, I think this would be something I would look forward to. Let's see. Do we get anything from Greg? Oh, Greg says, I'm working with Eugene Marathon on an exclusive merch collaboration. Also with a not announced yet Nike Bank of America 13.1 merch collab. Whoa, that's awesome. That's super cool. I'm very excited for that. Now I might have to run that race. I wasn't planning on it. I'm gonna have to change my schedule. Make sure I can fit that one in. Awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool. X says about my opinion on PRs versus doing more events. He says, no, that's the right attitude. Do what you can while you can do it. It's all an adventure. PRs are just a pursuit of clock time, and it gets boring. Go for it. Yeah. I think we're on the same page, Eric. There you go. Kurt says, I signed up for it and also the Ultra Trail Hurricana this year as well. Also planning on a marathon, some track races and cross country. So it's in every service, every distance kind of 2022. That's what I'm talking about. I think there's been a lot of talk in the track and field community of how to get more of the road running, like surge. I guess that's another word that I really can't use anymore. The boom from road running to trickle down to track. somehow. And I've got ideas, but I just think that for those of us who have done those things in the past, we need to go seek out those events. It wasn't that long ago where like finding a 5K was kind of a more difficult thing to do. And now there's like, you can't, at least in Chicago, like I kind of run into one regularly just on accident along the lakefront here. But I was just trying to think of like there was a track meet in Elmhurst that ended up being the same weekend as the USATF Masters Championship. But if not, I was going to go to that. And it was a track meet, but I think to keep it shorter, it wasn't like an entire track meet. It was just a handful of distance events. I'm like, see, that's how you do it. Like when you go to a 5K on the weekend, there's not sometimes there's a 5K, 10K, half marathon, and ultra. On a big weekend festival, there's that. But a lot of your like local 5Ks, it's just the 5K. So I feel like they could do track meets where it's like, maybe a half mile, a mile, maybe a 4x4, a handful of events, make it shorter, but enough that people can come out and have a good time. But it's not a 8-hour commitment, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right. Angel Bostic says tip for workout in cold weather. I feel like one of the things is, other than apparel and dressing, which I'm sure you're going to figure out, in terms of like writing workouts and determining whether a workout's successful, I think that if it's very, very cold, you have to adjust your pace expectations just like you would if it's very, very hot. You're wearing more layers. The temperatures aren't optimal for your body to perform. And so I think in the winter is a really great time to run workouts based on effort rather than on pace. So that's something that would be my tip. And for me, my workouts in the winter tend to be longer. The work portions are a little bit longer of an interval with a little bit less intensity, just because things might be slippery. So that's another kind of tip as well. So, all right. So good to see you guys. And I see a lot of you guys are putting in some really great messages, wishing everyone else here a happy new year. But I got to get going for today. I think this is a good time to end it here. Right now, we're starting to put the kids in activities, which seems like an unfortunate timing aspect of putting them in more activities. So my afternoons are going to get a lot busier. We'll start rock climbing again. Start taking the baby to dance class. Or start swimming again for the kids. So fortunately, all those places that they have to go, you have to be vaccinated. You have to show proof of vaccination to attend. So feel okay about it, even though the rest of the city seems to be going in the wrong direction. But I'm going to be getting busier. But I think it's all going to be good. I think it's going to be real good for the kids, assuming we can still have all those things and we can do all those things safely. But hopefully you guys are all staying safe out there and taking care of yourself and each other. That's going to be it for today. Tomorrow's video is going to be about the Peregrine 12, some first thoughts after a handful of runs in them. And then we'll do another live stream, same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. We got to play a game tomorrow. We haven't played a game in a long time. So I'll think of something, some sort of fun game that we can all play together. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.